Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can increase the rate of helicopter spawns on your DAYZ Nitrado private server for Xbox or PlayStation. I'll probably be doing a separate video about how you can do this on your mobile phone, but basically it's the same. This is something that you can do on your mobile phone very easily using the Nitrado app, and the reason why you want helicopter spawns is because helicopter spawns spawn good loot, like the they call it the LAR battle rifle, the FAL battle rifle, and the Dragunov sniper rifle, and the VSS sniper rifle. They all tend to be around the helicopter crash sites. There's two types of helicopter crashes you get. You get the Huey, like this one, and then you get the Russian one. The Huey one is the one that has the smoke. The Russian one doesn't have smoke, so they're very difficult to find. However, if you look at this map here, these little red dots, these are potential helicopter crash sites. So you think, oh wow, brilliant, there's loads. Yeah. Unfortunately, with vanilla DAYZ, the way it's set up, you'll only ever have 3 helicopter crash sites, maximum of 3 active at any one time, and they change fairly quickly. I think it's about every 10 minutes they change, so your chances of finding a helicopter crash site with the vanilla settings are very, very low indeed. So that now that we can change things, I'm going to show you how to do that. So you want to go over to your Nitrado dashboard that's got all your services on, and then you want to pick the server that you want to change. So in this case I want to change my Xbox server, so you click on the little web interface icon here, wait for it to load up, and then we want to scroll down and we want to go to the file browser here, and then we want to go into the DAYZ XB missions folder just in the middle here, and then want you to go to DAYZ Offline Generous Plus. If you're doing this on a Livonia map, it will say Enoch, and then we want to go into the DB folder here. Now the folder we're interested in is events, so the very first thing we do is we make a backup of this. Before you do anything with any of these files, please back them up, and don't delete your backups either. Date them so that if something goes wrong you can roll back to previous backups, because worst case scenario, if things stop working, you're gonna have to reset the server and wipe it and do a reinstall, which isn't fun at all. Well, it's easy to do, but it's not fun for the people on the server. So all we do is we hit this little white button here, copy or move, and this white box appears down the bottom, actions, events, and we say copy here, and then it wants us to change the name, so we do events backup. Ooh. God, if I can spell right. And what is it? It's the 16th of the 2nd 2020 .xml. So there's no, I know exactly when I did this and what file it's backing up. Wait for that to update. So now, just to double check, we've got events backup XML sitting there all backed up. So now I can click on this, and if you're doing this in the mobile browser, you do the same. You tap on this and we're going to go into the events.xml. So what this file does is it tells your version of DAYZ what things should be happening. So when do things spawn in, how many of things spawn in, and some things about them. So you can have a lot of fun with this file, but you can do a lot of damage. For example, let's look at the top. Hens. Alright. If you look through these files, you'll see you can change almost everything. But be careful, don't go nuts, don't break your server. For this, we're just interested in helicopter crash, and it's called a static helicopter crash. And it's round about 5:30, I think, something like that. Static Christmas tree. You could turn them back on if you wanted to. Okay, static fridge test. Excuse me, static fridge test. Do apologise for that. StaticHeliCrash. So here we go. So I'm going to explain what the language behind all this stuff means, so that you've got a better understanding of why you should be careful and change things slowly. So the event name, StaticHeliCrash, so static helicopter crash. Nominal 3, so it's saying there should only be 3 on your server. That's not many, is it? So straight away I'm going to change this to 15, right? I want 15 helicopter crashes, because we've seen, you know, there's all these spaces. There's loads. What, there's 50 or 60 spaces for helicopter crashes. So I want 15. Okay, let's where were we? Minimum and maximum. I'm a bit confused by this. I don't think they actually relate to anything in this particular situation. I don't think they relate to anything. Now, lifetime. Now, this is really important. This is the lifetime in seconds that this, because the helicopter crash is treated just like an item. How long will it last on the server before the server gets rid of it and spawns it somewhere else? And it's only 2,500 seconds, which that's not very long at all, is it? What's that? 2,500 divided by 60 seconds, 41 minutes. So that's all it's going to be. So imagine if you were hunting around this map for helicopter sites, you could, well, especially if you were on foot, you could go somewhere, and they've actually, by the time you get there, they've spawned somewhere else. So we're going to change that. So we're going to change it to 2 hours. Should we do it for 2 hours? 2 hours. So we want 60 seconds times 60, so that gives us 1 hour, times, in fact, let's have it as 3 hours, 10,800. So we're going to change the lifetime to 10,800. I mean, in theory, you could set this to the length of time that your server is on before it resets. Restock is 0. So what restock means is the delay between respawning individual helicopter crashes. So it's at 0. So it's saying that when the helicopter crashes disappear, respawn them all at the same time. Don't respawn one, then wait a bit. Now, distance radius, cleanup radius, they're basically all to do with making sure that this doesn't spawn near a player or anything it shouldn't do. Because it would be a bit odd, wouldn't it, if you were walking through a field and a helicopter suddenly spawned in next to you. You don't want that. But also you don't want it to despawn as you're running up to it. And that's what controls that. Secondary, so what it's saying as well is also when you spawn in a helicopter, spawn in some army zombies to wander around. And then we've got the other thing that really matters is we've got active 1. Now the active flag means that this is something that is live on the server, so it works. You'll find a lot of other things. For example, if we go back just for a second to the static fridge test, they're 0, so they're not active. If you go up to the Christmas tree, that's not active at the moment, so you could turn that on by pressing 1. Now, stuff that we haven't seen in the game before, like the fridges, static fridges, or stuff you haven't seen, don't turn it on. You don't know what might happen. The assets for it might not be in the files anymore, so it could make your game unstable and it might not work. So just leave it well alone. There's so many things that can go wrong. It's so complicated what DAYZ is doing that you want to change as little as possible. And then we've got child. So the children, if you like, of this event is the Mi-8 wreck, which is the Russian helicopter, or the UH-1 wreck, which is the American helicopter, as I say, with the smoke. And then it's just giving us some details about loot min and loot max. Now, it's as easy as that. So all you then do is, so we just save down here, and then you would restart the server. Now, remember though, all we've done is increase the number of helicopter crash sites. We haven't increased the amount of loot that is on these crash sites. And the loot that is on the crash sites, helicopter crash sites, is the high-end loot like the LAR or the FAL, the VSD, the VSS, and various equipment, various attachments for that. And there's very few of these. So what you need to then do is you need to go into the other file. If we go back, you need to go into, here we go, types.xml, and then edit that and add more of those in. Now I'll put the link in the description box down below about my video about doing that. And what I'll do as well is I will put a link to this web page which lists all of the weapons that spawn in DAYZ, because if you go to the LAR, for example, and click on this, it tells you, look, it's very rare and it only happens on a crash site. I think as far as LARs go, or it's the FAL battle rifle, I think in the whole of your map there should only ever be 3, and it counts stuff that's in player stashes as well. I will do a video about that one day. In fact, I might have already done, I can't remember. So you'll want to increase that a lot, otherwise you're going to have a lot of helicopter crashes that don't have very good loot on them. So they'll just have clothes. You know, if somebody just tracked down a helicopter crash, they want to find something cool, don't they, to do it that way. But I'll put that link down below. So there we go. And then finally, sorry, you would then, we've saved it, and then you would restart your server. So that gives it a chance to respawn everything in, and you can tell your people on your servers to go off and look for helicopter crashes and look for extra loot, and they'll all get excited. And there we go. So there we are. That is how you increase the number of heli crashes on your DAYZ Nitrado PS4 or Xbox One private Nitrado server. If you've got any other questions, put them in the comments section down below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you found it useful, press subscribe. And of course, I'll see you again soon.